If you feel like you've not been able to jump into a career that you enjoy and that happens to pay you a good amount of money on the account of the degree that you earned, then you might have what some would diplomatically call a useless degree. But don't worry, it's not too late, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to build on that, pivot to a career that you do love, and make a whole lot more money doing it. So stay tuned. Hey folks, Richard Walls here, helping you with career development and personal finance. And if either of those two topics are of interest to you, do make sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I post new videos. So with that said, let's get to it. So if you're like many out there that went to college, got some degree, and went into a lot of debt to do so, your hope would be that you could land a well-paying job to, of course, pay off the debt, do something you enjoy as a career, and set yourself up for financial success. But sometimes it doesn't quite happen that way. You get saddled with debt with a job that isn't very satisfying and minimal prospects really to progress your career in the way that you want to. So, what do you do? Well, regardless of the degree that you have, you're likely going to want to consider a career pivot. I'm going to give you 3 steps you can start taking today, but you do want to stay till the very end, because I've got one bonus tip for you that may actually be the game changer that you need. Step 1 is you have to ask yourself, what do I really like and dislike about the job that I'm currently doing, or about jobs that I've done in the past? Now, you'll really want to get to the core elements of what you liked and what you disliked. What I mean is focus a little less on the actual activity that you're doing and focus more on how it makes you feel and what part of what it is that you're doing or have done gives you the satisfaction or dissatisfaction. For example, if you're a barista, maybe you enjoy making coffee, but is it that necessarily specifically the making of coffee that you enjoy? Now, the answer might be yes, and that's perfectly okay. But really, at the core of it, is it the satisfaction you get from crafting something with your own 2 hands for someone else to enjoy? You get to add value to someone else's life, to someone else's morning, and have happy customers. Most of the time, I hope. Or maybe you like the camaraderie of working on a team in a fast-paced environment, which a morning in a coffee shop certainly would fit that description. Now, the reason I advise to think in those terms is that it really helps expand the scope of what you might be interested in for a career, and to not think so myopically or single-mindedly about any one job function or any one specific industry. Once you've identified your likes and your dislikes, it's time to go to step number 2. This is where you think about 1, what industries you might enjoy going into. 2 is what job functions seem to align most closely with what you enjoy. And then 3rd is what companies align with those first 2 points that also have a good likelihood of paying well. Keep in mind, some industries, some job functions, and some companies pay more than others. A really good place to figure this out is a website called Glassdoor. Highly recommend it. It gives you some idea. It may not be 100% accurate, but it's something that users contribute, and they give information about companies, the benefits, salary, and many other elements of that company. So a very useful starting point as you begin your research. But once you've identified a few companies, now it's time to check out the job listings, which here you can do through sites like LinkedIn or Indeed. Now, as you go through the job listings, pay really close attention to what they list as required or preferred skills and or credentials. You'll notice certain keywords that pop up, and you'll see that repeatedly, especially in the jobs or careers that you're most interested in. Now, based on the degree that you might already have, or even the work experience you might already have, you may already fit some of the requirements that these job postings are asking for. Or maybe you have very little of it. And if you're watching this video, chances are it's the latter. So how are you going to get a job if you don't meet a lot of the requirements? It's time to go to step 3, which is earn relevant credentials. So you've already got a degree in something, which at minimum for some HR requirements It may just be a box that they check that you have a bachelor's degree, but it might not be the ideal degree. So at this point, you do need to explore relevant credentials. This can mean a lot of things. It can mean professional certifications all the way up to full-fledged degrees, either another bachelor's degree or a master's degree. And the cost to earn those credentials can actually vary widely. But the really good news is that you do not have to double your debt load to earn many of these credentials. In fact, there are some relatively inexpensive master degree programs out there that you can explore, which if you want to check out some for an MBA, a master's in business administration, I've got a link to another video that I've done on the topic that you can check out. But better yet, if you don't even want to spend that kind of money, there are still some credentials out there that are a tiny fraction of the cost of a degree. But now that you've seen these job listings and you've seen the skills and education that they may require or prefer, now it's up to you to find credentials that match so that you can dramatically improve your chances of landing that job that you might be looking into or other jobs like it. Best place to start is looking at the description down below, where I've got a number of different links to different platforms like Coursera, edX, LinkedIn Learning, Udemy. These are among the top online learning platforms out there today. And if you're also wanting to go in the direction of a professional credential that's globally recognized, you may think about, for example, the CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. I've got another link in the description below where there's another platform called Analyst Prep, which can help you, as the name implies, prep for the CFA for a relatively low price. So be sure to check that out as well. But each platform offers something a little bit different at a range of different price points. So make sure to explore all of them and see what courses, specializations, certifications, or even degrees match and make the most sense for what you want to do. And then once you earn your certification or multiple certifications, you're going to want to list that in your LinkedIn profile and in your resume, which, as it turns out, I've got links to those videos as well on how to go about doing that. So check those out after you watch this video. Once you've done that, you can now start applying to those roles that you've had your eye on, but it's not enough usually to just apply. You also need to start networking with folks at that company. You can send them a message, you can send connections, and that's something you'll want to take very seriously. In a lot of cases, these roles are about having the relationship with the person and showing in advance that you have a legitimate interest in that job function or in that company. So you can network through LinkedIn, and better yet, you can also network in person through conferences. So any industry-related conference is a good opportunity to get to know different people in different industries and in different companies. So if you've stuck around this long, I'm now excited to share with you the bonus tip. So whether you're at the beginning of your journey, starting to apply for different roles, starting to network, or you've already done that and you're still experiencing some challenges on the account of you don't have really any work experience, if that ends up being a barrier for you, there's actually some steps you can take. Now, fortunately, there are some fields where it's quite easy actually to get real world experience on your own. For example, if you want to go into digital marketing, which is very broad, there's actually a platform called Acadium, which I'll link in the description below. But here you can explore various working opportunities in the space of digital marketing. So here you have options to do apprenticeships as well as freelance work. So it's a really good way to get experience under your belt without actually having experience. This in turn will make you more qualified for all those roles that you may be applying for. But this isn't the only platform that you can search. You may have to do a little bit more investigation on how do I go about getting real world experience. If you want to be a web developer, that's something you can learn on your own, and you can actually build a portfolio, you can build websites. So again, having that proof is going to be really important as you search for jobs, because if you don't have real world work experience, at least you've done this work independently. You've done it on your own, so you have an interest and you have work to show for it. So folks, let me know down in the comments below what undergraduate degree you ended up getting and whether you've had challenges in your career of landing jobs that fit what you really want to do. And were you able to pivot your career at any point in time with just that degree? Or let me know what you did to change the trajectory of your career. I'm sure that'll be helpful for everyone in the comments down below, or at least the audience that'll be watching this video. So again, would like to have that dialogue. There's always interesting stories out there. So again, make sure to comment down below. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.